Today, I am going to argue the impossible, but not really the impossible, right? I believe, hear me out, that Mortal Kombat 11 is the greatest Mortal Kombat game of all time. Now, before you go and rage in my comment section, before you click the dislike button, okay, hear me out. Mortal Kombat 11 is not my personal favorite Mortal Kombat game of all time. That title actually falls to Mortal Kombat Deception. I love Conquest Mode like a crazy man. I love Mortal Kombat Deception. You can hate Mortal Kombat Deception. To me, that is pinnacle Mortal Kombat. That's just me, right? Now, do I think Mortal Kombat Deception is the best gameplay wise? Absolutely not, okay? Gameplay wise, Mortal Kombat X is actually my favorite Mortal Kombat game, but that still does not give it the title over Mortal Kombat Deception for me. But hear me out, right? Mortal Kombat 11 as a package is the best deal for Mortal Kombat ever, and I can legit argue that Mortal Kombat 11, outside of maybe Smash, it's the greatest bundle for a fighting game ever. I believe that Mortal Kombat as a package is the greatest fighting game of all time. Now, let me break it down, right? Mortal Kombat 11 in itself, this is going to be a free-form conversation, right? This isn't scripted, okay? I'm speaking straight off the dome about this game because I have big opinions about this game. Obviously, the next NRS game is going to get announced soon, whether it's Injustice 3, whether it's MK12, whether it's the Marvel game. Who the fuck cares, okay? When we get it, we get it. It is what it is. But Mortal Kombat 11 is no longer getting supported. I have never made a video fully expressing how I feel about this game in general. So, well, I have made a video, but since it's completely done, I want to talk about MK11 as a package, right? You have so many things to do, right? You have two story modes. You have the regular story mode and you have the Aftermath story mode. I like the MK11 story mode. A lot of people don't really like where it's leading to, which is fair. Time travel is kind of unfair, right? Time travel is used to revert back and do blase blase, but I like the path that they went towards with MK11 because for me it leaves a lot open to the imagination. Like, I legit don't know what MK12 was going to be about. Like, when MKX ended, like, you were like, okay, well, you didn't really know what was going to happen, but you had an inkling of how it kind of was going to go and what was going to happen. But you legit, like, MK12, there's like nothing. You absolutely know, you have zero clue where they're going to go because everything has been reset. Everybody's back alive. You legit don't know shit, which is great, right? I found that to be a positive because I like going into games not knowing where the story is going to go. I like the MK11 story. I like what they did. Aftermath, I enjoyed. Aftermath, obviously very predictable. I mean, we all knew what Shang Tsung was going to do at the end of the day, but I still enjoyed it. I just enjoyed the interactions between the characters. I just found that shit to be fun, right? So you have the two story modes. You have the regular story mode, you have Aftermath. I don't think anybody would give the story modes less than a 7. I think if you're giving it less than a 7, then you're kind of reaching, right? You know what? I'll revert back. You can give it what you want, but I personally don't believe they're less than a 7. So outside of story modes, and let's be real here, when it comes to fighting game story modes, nobody else even comes close when it comes to NRS stories. There's nobody. This is not even a debate. This is purely facts. When it comes to fighting game stories, nobody comes close. You have the towers, right? You have the towers. They change. There's some that change every 30 minutes. There's some that change every hour. There is a ton of single player content in Mortal Kombat 11. Now, for you sweaty motherfuckers, that's like, I like when he do is go online. Everybody is not like that. You got to realize that some people don't like playing online, right? There is a world of people. I know, mind blowing, crazy as fuck, right? There is a world of people who genuinely just want to play Mortal Kombat 11 offline. They don't give a fuck about playing against other people. They don't want to do that shit. They just want to play towers. They want to get cool outfits. They want to fucking take pictures. That's what they want to do. There is a world of people out there, right, who don't give a fuck about multiplayer, who don't give a fuck about none of that shit. They want to do fatalities. They want to dress cool. They just want to have fun in towers. So as a single player experience, I feel like Mortal Kombat 11 is great when it comes to like those towers, and then you get the story mode. Me personally, don't love the towers. I get it. I like the holiday towers, but I'm gonna get more deep into why I don't necessarily love the towers, and we'll discuss that when we're talking about customization and unlocking like different like item articles of clothing, the brutality. We'll get to that part. But if I was a casual and I just wanted to play Mortal Kombat 11 single player, the towers provide you a lot of different options versus your standard just fighting against computer or fighting against an arcade mode, which they have. They have a standard arcade mode where you can go through and you can fight bald crusty lip bitch Chronica, or you can just go through the towers and do like with the modifiers and all that shit. That shit is fun to people, okay? Might not be fun to you, but as a single, if I'm a casual who just gives a fuck about like just playing a game single player, that shit does a lot for me. The Crypt, I thought the Crypt was awesome. I think the Crypt was a great thing to bring back. I think they added enough elements of the Crypt to make it interesting. I like the lore that was in the Crypt. I like that they included some Mortal Kombat movie shit in the Crypt. I thought the Crypt was fucking great, right? The Crypt is fun as fuck. I don't like what's attached to the Crypt, which later I will get more into. But the Crypt itself, I feel like it's fun to just navigate and to just go through. I find that shit to be cool as fuck, right? You might not find it cool as fuck, but guess what? Weeby ENT finds that shit cool as fuck. Mortal Kombat 11 also, in my opinion, has a really good roster. I think this roster is better than Mortal Kombat X. I don't believe it's better than MK9. MK9 roster is literally a Mortal Kombat fan's wet dream. Like, this is what MK9's roster is what MK fans, like, they nut over. Like, that is nut material for them. I think MKX's roster was okay. Like, it was solid. I think MK11's roster is a lot better than MKX's. I don't know. They went and they added some old characters that weren't in MKX. They added some cool new characters. I actually like Collector. I actually think Gears. I think Gears is cool, like looking. I don't like to play Gears, and I think Cetrion's a good addition, even though she looks like a fucking Injustice character. But I like the new additions into Mortal Kombat 11. I like them. I thought the roster was strong. And the DLC roster, I think, is pretty good too. You can feel how you want to feel about the action heroes. You can feel how you want to feel about the Terminator, the RoboCops, the Rambos. But Melina, Rain, who else? Shiva, Fusion, Shang was DLC too, huh? Shang. Those characters are pretty cool. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, Spawn. Oh my god, that's a pretty big one. Spawn actually making it into MK11 and being fucking fantastic looking. Those DLC characters are cool as hell, right? Fucking fantastic. Customization options in this game are beautiful. So many colors, so many things you can like customize. Like you can customize Johnny Cage's fucking glasses. Like, they even got the movie glasses. They have his movie outfit. Johnny Cage got a lot of outfits. He has the werewolf costume. So many different outfits. So many different customization options in this game. Great. Fantastic. Skins galore, right? Issue with these, right? Really hard to unlock. I don't like this. Started in Injustice 2, and I hope NRS in their next game adjust this. I am not a big fan of grinding for random items, right? Or random things. I would like to be able to grind towards a specific item that I would like. For example, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, so in MK11 and in Injustice 2, basically what you get is left up to chance, right? It might appear in a tower randomly. You might randomly unlock it in a crypt. You might randomly unlock it in the living towers. It's random, right? A lot of things at MK11 is left up to being random, which gives it like a grindy aspect. And I don't like that. I get why they do it. It's for casual play, but MK11 has been out for what, 2 years now, and I still don't have all the brutalities for a single character, which is kind of insane to me personally. They need to make it easier for you to be able to get brutalities. They need to make it easier for you to be able to get custom cosmetics. And here's the thing, right? Especially MK11, I have 6 million coins. Like 6, that's a big ass fucking number. I have 6 million coins. I wish that I was able to go into, like, maybe if I wanted to buy something custom for like Johnny Cage or Rain or something like that. I wish that I can go in, click an item. It gave me a specific thing I needed to do with that character to unlock the item. Maybe if I want to unlock a certain like costume with Rain, I have to do 10 Rain brutalities, or I have to use fucking geyser kick 20 times, something like that, right? Or, right, alternative, give me the option to buy it with in-game currency, right? Because I feel like if you give me the option to buy it with in-game currency, that doesn't take away from the grind aspect that they're going, like they're trying to go for a grindy aspect to make the single player kind of like drawn out. But you could also do that with just allowing people to buy the game or to buy the stuff with in-game currency. Because if I want to buy something, guess what? I have to play the game or to get the currency to buy stuff. But MK11 does not give you that choice. It's one of my biggest gripes with the game, that getting brutalities, getting costumes, getting attachments are kind of a pain in the ass. Like, it is kind of a pain in the ass to get the things that you're actually looking for. And I'm not a fan of that. And it started with Injustice 2, and I hope NRS goes back and looks at that. And that was a really big problem when MK11 first came out, where it felt like the game was super fucking grindy. Like, it was grindy as shit. And I'm not trying to really super grind when I'm playing a fighting game. Like, I don't play fighting games to grind like shit. Especially if I'm grinding for unknown things, random things. If I'm grinding for something I really want, like if I see a costume on a character that I'm just dying to have, and I really want that, I'm willing to grind for that. But you have to make it so that there's an objective for me to get that, and not just me randomly getting it from like a tower that appears like once a month. I feel like I'm not a big fan of like going down that road. I hope if they end up making the MK12 or Injustice 3, because this isn't just the MK11 problem. This is also a problem in Injustice 2. I hope that's something they adjust going forward, because I want it to be easier to get the cosmetics and the brutalities that we actually want. There's costumes in Injustice 2 that my ass still don't got. There's brutalities in MK11 that I still don't got, and I have over 100 fucking hours in both of these games. So, I just hope that they review that and go and adjust that. Speaking of brutalities, fatalities, friendships have never been as good as they are in this game. This game has the best friendships. I'm pretty sure only MK3 has friendships. Wait, MK does MK9 have friendships? No, MK9 has babalities. So friendships coming back was great. I think they did them really well. Friendships were fucking fantastic. Fatalities have never been as good as they are in this game. Consistently across the board, fatalities are fantastic. There are only a handful that are like ass, but most of them are either moderately good or just fantastic. Brutalities, great when you can actually get them. Problem with brutalities, some of the requirements are pretty weird. I would like to see more consistent, like, brutalities in terms of difficulty. Like, some brutalities be like, oh yeah, you just use this move 3 times and you get the brutality. And then some of them shits be like, hit a backflip, drop some ass on a goddamn midget 42 times, and then you throw the fucking glasses in the air, kick that bitch, drop some nuts on their forehead, and you'll be able to do it. Like, some of the brutality requirements are just, the shits just don't make sense to me. So I would like to see more consistency when it comes to brutalities in terms of how you actually implement them, like how you actually are able to get those brutalities. And something very minor that I hate, when you go into the fatality screen, it slows down. And it makes it really hard to combo into brutalities because that slowdown screen will fuck you up majorly when you're trying to combo into a brutality, and I hate it. So that is something that I would definitely get rid of. But I think this game has good, best fatalities, brutalities, and friendships I've ever been. Now we're getting to the gameplay, right? Gameplay is where MK11 has the biggest issues, right? Where do I start? For starters, this meter has to go. I do not like this meter. Go back to the standard meter that we had in like MK9 and MKX. I'm a big fan of don't fix what's not broken. I had no problem with the meter in the past game, so I don't know why they really adjusted and changed this. NRS is always trying to do something new, but to be honest, this just didn't work. I don't like this like offensive and defensive meter. Just go back to the regular meter where you use your resources for like everything. So defensive options is where my biggest problem with MK11 comes in, and what most people's big problem with MK11 comes in is breakaway is awful. Breakaway is not a good system. I just don't like it at all. I don't like being punished for getting somebody in a combo. There are times if you break away properly, that like you it's dumb, right? Let's say you're comboing somebody and they break away, right? All right, they use that resource, right? There are some times where people, if they time their breakaway right, they can punish you they can punish you, right? And that's a defensive mechanic. And what people can do, they can turn that defensive mechanic into something offensive. There should never be, in my opinion, there should never be a situation where I, as the person who is initiating the combo, be punished by somebody who used resources to get out of the combo. That just doesn't make sense to me. I hate that. I hope that's done away with. The breaker system, they tried to like remedy this by doing like a system where you can break breakaways. Problem with that is, for some reason, they decided to do it for different moves with everybody. Now, this would work if it was a part of everybody's base moveset, but for some characters, the breaking breakaway move is locked behind moves. So you literally have to sacrifice a moveset to get a specific move that might not be that great in order to break breakaway. I don't understand the thought process behind that. I feel like the best way to go about this was have a universal break move that everybody has. Like you can maybe like down 2 or something like that. Like you push like R2 and it like breaks breakaway, but it uses your fucking resource or something like that. It's weird that they did it that way, which just, it makes the breakaway system even worse in my eyes. So I don't like it. I don't like rolls. I don't understand it. I don't like the wake up roll system. I don't like that. I felt like personally that Breaker was perfectly fine. You can keep the rolls, right? If you want to keep the rolls as a way to like navigate away from your opponent, you can keep that, I guess. But Breakaway for sure has to go. Bring back Breaker. Breaker was fine. You use some resources for Breaker, and you can break away. And I felt like Breakers were better because they actually reset neutral, and Breakaway doesn't. Fatal Blows completely fine. Fatal Blows are better than X-Rays. There was no incentive to actually do X-Rays in the game. Like, it was a waste of meter. So Fatal Blows were kind of put in the game to remedy that, which I'm completely fine with. I don't have any issues with Fatal Blows. Yes, they are annoying when people wake up Fatal Blow. I feel like if you block a Fatal Blow, it should be very punishable, but some people's Fatal Blows are safe. Fatal Blows 100% should be punishable. But I'm all for keeping Fatal Blows versus X-Rays. X-Rays, there was not a lot of incentive to do them. You would only really do them if you wanted to X-ray like brutality. You rarely see anybody use X-Rays in MKX or MK9. It's as much as I liked how X-Rays visually looked, I think Fatal Blows are just 20 times better. So, other than that, people they hate the speed, like the movement of MK11. I don't mind it, right? It's not the worst thing possible. My biggest gripe with MK11 came with the defensive options. I don't have a problem with MK11 speed. I like fast fighting games. I like slow, honest, footsie based fighting games. But there was just some systems in MK11 where I was just like, it felt like they wanted to strive they wanted to strive for creativity in MK, but it feels like it kind of ended up being the opposite, where they're like, yeah, we have all these moves you can customize and you can do all this crazy shit, but it didn't, at the end of the day, it didn't really feel like that creativity like shined through. It was kind of a situation where it was like, yeah, everybody is kind of doing the same thing. Like in MKX, I felt like there was a lot of creativity. Like you could like just do crazy shit. Like if I thought of something in MKX, 9 times out of 10 I could do it and it worked. MK11 is very like straightforward and honest, like MK2, which is what they intended it to do. And as a fighting game, I don't personally find that the most enjoyable way to play. But some people enjoy fighting games like that, slow, honest fighting games where it's not like not everybody likes running across a fucking screen blocking 2050-50s, right? Not everybody likes that shit, okay? I'm one of the people that do like that shit though, but not everybody likes that, and I understand that. But gameplay gripes aside, fucking grinding cosmetics and shit aside, as a fighting game package, it's hard to argue that MK11 is not the greatest Mortal Kombat game of all time. It's just very hard not to argue that. You can argue that you like MK9 story mode better, or you like MKX's story mode better, but when I'm thinking about it from a single player perspective, Mortal Kombat 11 offers a lot more than MKX and a lot more than MK9, and it's hard to argue for like a $60 price tag that the game really isn't worth it. Which is why I say I believe MK11 is the greatest Mortal Kombat game of all time. It can be argued that it is the greatest fighting game of all time. I'm not saying it's the most fun fighting game of all time, but the features that are offered in MK11, it's hard to argue that as a complete package, the game just isn't the best. Like, it's hard to argue against that. If you want to quickly touch on online, netcode for Mortal Kombat 11 is completely fine. I think it's great. Obviously, I would like a Wi-Fi filter added, because there are some times where the connection will say it's good and it's really not. But when you get good connection, consistently, I would say like 80 to 85% of the time I'm playing MK11, connections are completely fine. It's hard to complain about lag in MK11. I mean, you're going to encounter a laggy Scorpion. It will happen. But when you're playing against people with just okay to generally great like internet, it runs smooth and it runs fine. So Combat League, I mean, it's okay. I didn't have an issue with Combat League. It's very toxic, but you don't have to play Combat League. I'm fine with them locking skins behind Combat League because it gives you incentive to grind Combat League. But like, you know, obviously you don't want to lock fucking everything behind Combat League. You want to do like 3 or 4 skins per Combat League. I think Combat League is fine. I like Combat League to come back, but this is why I think Mortal Kombat 11, while it has plenty of flaws, right? It's a flawed fighting game. It's not perfect. I argue that Mortal Kombat 11 is the greatest Mortal Kombat game of all time, and as a package, it can be argued as the greatest fighting game of all time. And honestly, I think only Smash can rival it in terms of features, things to do. I think only Smash Brothers can rival it. Maybe if you want to be technical, maybe Tekken, you know, you got Tekken Bowling and all that shit, but I think Tekken is a reach. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Do you believe Mortal Kombat 11 is the greatest Mortal Kombat of all time? Not necessarily your favorite Mortal Kombat, but the greatest Mortal Kombat. Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do, bitch. As always, motherfuckers, pass class, don't eat ass. I'm out this bitch.